How's it going today? It's 11th of January, Thursday, and we are taking a look at the market here, what kind of opportunities are available out there. With number of videos, I have covered a number of opportunities, and today I'm taking a look at the different businesses and opportunities collaborating and working with outside people, not necessarily governments, it's people that I'm looking to work with, right? And I have taken a look at Taiwan as well as Hong Kong, Japan, and Malaysia. In this video, I thought it might be great taking a look at South Korea and potentially how to engage with the professionals within the region when it comes to solving a problem. And I'm gonna be taking within this video. I'm gonna be taking a look at how to work together. Myself coming into this, since I'm touching and or taking a look at different governments, right, and or people within those governments, depending on most likely where the finance will come from, there might be some things to address as you go along of having a person or organization that you will be sourcing finance from, taking a look at what kind of people going to be working on the project. That will be some issues there that perhaps worth mentioning from the beginning, right? So depending on finance, the people and also where you're gonna be sourcing finance, those people might be considering who's working on the project and where those people will be coming from. So that's worth mentioning, right? Even right now, when I'm taking a look at Bristol's the strategy and everything what was aligned within the strategy, I think that there not necessarily was touch on some of the major pain points or perhaps even the emerging markets and what those markets might look like, not if not right now, in the future, right? There's nothing there since I'm coming from business perspective, right? I was just looking for pain points and or perhaps even energy and energy prices within UK, perhaps some of those pain points, right? And where some of those major expenses are gonna be within UK in the future. So perhaps we can take a look at South Korea and how we can potentially address this problem, right? Let's begin with the government's website. That would be foreign travel advice, and if we were to take a look at South Korea, uh, they might have very strong understanding some of those areas and some of those issues that can potentially be addressed. But I don't know about all the details yet. And what the process can look like since there might be a lot of opportunities, right? So myself, I'm interested in that. How some of those issues can be addressed, right, with working together with other people. There might be collaboration opportunities, they might be interested in coming over, looking for opportunities, and if anything, there's different ways and how people can work together, right? I have highlighted some of my personal experiences in the book, right? So if people are interested, I'll refer to the book instead of perhaps repeating some of the stories, right? But there's a great ways of doing business, and some people do understand how to do it, and including perhaps some of the people being like in South Korea. So overall, so how myself can engage and say hi to the team and or begin the process. Even recently, South Korea did start selling a lot of equipment on the market for people who are following the markets. So South Korea is making a lot of money on the market. By the way, we're selling some of the top class equipment, world leading equipment. Myself, I don't know. I'm interested, but I don't know how to work together. Perhaps there might be some reasons why I won't be able to work with them. It's not that I don't want it to. Perhaps I won't have way of how to. I don't know if that makes sense. Well, that's perhaps where things gonna be. Where we're not necessarily be able to, right? But either way, I thought it might as well be another way of touching on some of those areas, right? Of how potentially ways of collaborating and working together. It just there might be reasons why some of the business might not be able to, right? Let's try to take a look at some information of how to reach out and schedule a conference call. I would be interested in understanding the process of how to work together. If there's a number of set number by the local government of UK, of how many people can come in, right? So perhaps there's a very similar process, I guess. There might be some limitations set by the government, where perhaps only 5,000, perhaps 1,000, whereas no people can come in. Wish they could. I don't know again. So I'll try to reach out to embassy, and I'll like to understand the process of how people will be able to come in from South Korea, perhaps to United Kingdom, what the process can be in, and if people are able to come in, and if they like to do something, what the process of them receiving permission to do anything. So it's something that I need to understand, right? So that would be perhaps industry and giving them placements, I guess, to do something interesting, I guess, within the area could benefit everyone involved, but I don't know the limitations there. So there is some information there. I'll try to take part in this process, but again, so that's me coming to this, trying to understand the process. I don't know. What would be another way of entering the overall partnership and working together? Perhaps the embassy has its own problems and they're looking to solve their own problems. That's another way of looking at it. If I can solve any of their problems, if there are any, that's another way. Perhaps micro engagement, right? So perhaps building on top of relationships, right? If I'm gonna have problems within the next 5 years, so I'm gonna need to hire thousands of people, how I can begin now. So perhaps working together now on micro level, so just some small things, and or perhaps engagement. This organization embassy might be interested in building on engagement, and from there building on top of that. That's another way of solving this problem. But again, I don't know all the details. As well as I can build it up, or perhaps I could try to build it up, build it up, build it up, and then relationships might change and so much of my time might be wasted for many reasons, right? So that's potentially can happen as well, so it's worth it to consider. Another way of perhaps even just to begin or begin engagement, right? I managed to find that would be Korean culture center. So perhaps there's not necessarily embassy themselves, they're not necessarily doing anything. Perhaps there's a community there. I can engage with the community, and there might be food. Great, I love food. We can begin with food, and we perhaps from food we can progress in building something interesting, engineering perhaps also. We perhaps that would be another way of engagement. If the people within culture center might be more active, right? So if they're doing something, there might be within a center, they might be interested in solving, or there might be existing problems or something that they're working issues that they're working on. Myself, I'm looking to build it up, right? So perhaps culture center, that's really another way of engagement. Yourself, if you're interested in learning more, I have published a journal. Within this journal, I'm taking a look at daily routines, small habits. That would be ink flow, quarter, and overall that would tied into a longer term goals, financial goals perhaps, and how you can begin with small routines and work towards achieving from a small ones into a larger picture goals. That would be where to begin. This system potentially could help you developing a habit, something that you could potentially stick to. And to help you, roughly would take 70 days. That would be 90 days if you were to pick up this journal and work from cover to cover. That would be enough time for you to start slowly and work towards achieving that you might be interested in setting for yourself. That would be every page, 24-hour window. That's something that you can work towards in achieving day after day. You can find it, QR code in the corner, company outside below. Myself, I thought I'll touch perhaps on sports, and perhaps the embassy is busy with other things. Perhaps they're not necessarily interested in sports. But I thought it might be another way of engaging with embassy and building those relationships, right? So that perhaps it'd be like a sports, a little bit of competition, kind of interesting thing to do. So I thought perhaps I can approach it and engage with embassy, and where to begin building that relationship would be just another example, I guess, of how to do it. since the process itself can be very lengthy, time consuming, and very fragile, if anything. So that will be just overall feedback on the process, right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.